Hey everybody, welcome back to the Armed Scotsman. Today on the table we have a Tippmann M4-22. Let's get this one going. Alright folks, as I said, this is a Tippmann M4-22. 22 stands for 22 long rifle. I got one of these on the channel because when I reviewed the Smith & Wesson 1522, a lot of people said, hey, you've got to check out the Tippmann. And I was like, alright, cool, let's do that. So I got one in and yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start kind of at the back here. It comes with your very basic M4 buttstock. Just, you know, there's nothing fancy about these, you know, but they work obviously. You know, you get sling attachments here and here. Obviously it's adjustable, which is great. I always look to upgrade these though, but it does work just fine. But one of the things I liked on here, it already has it comes with a mil-spec buffer tube, which I think is a nice touch. And so you can put any buttstock on here if it's an AR-15. So it's very nice indeed. Come down to the castle nut. I don't expect this to be staked, and honestly there is no need for it to be staked, and it's not, and that's totally fine with a 22 LR. You do have an end plate on here which has two sling attachments right here where you can attach a sling, which is nice. That's kind of a nice touch. Moving along to the upper and lower receiver, well, let's just go here and tell you what it does not come with. It does not come with this. It's just a hollow sun, and then we have some actual Tippmann pop-up sights, plastic sights here for iron sights, plastic sights, but it does come with it, which is a really nice touch. I think that's very nice indeed, so I don't have to go and buy any. And the hollow sun, somebody's going to ask me the model, I always forget it. It's HS403R. I've had this for years. It's worked great. It's been getting a little beat up, but it goes on a lot of my guns that I'm reviewing, and it's functioned flawlessly. No complaints. So just that's what that is. Okay, so upper and lower receiver are actually aluminum, which again is very nice, and it has your an actual functioning forward assist. Some people are like, well, you don't need it, but I still think if you're using this as a particular training tool, now it obviously depends what your uses are for a training tool. I think having an actual functioning forward assist is really good. It is a full-size ejection port right here, so it does have a dust cover to keep all the crud and crap out, which again I think is really nice. A lot of 22 AR-15s don't have these functions, so I think it's nice that this does. Has a standard mag release right here. The mag is, we'll touch base on this real fast, 25 round mag, looks like a standard AR-15 mag, however obviously it is not. It's designed for 22. You can put the rounds in on top like this, or you can depress, this side, depress that little button right there, and then you can pull the top up like so, and then you can pull this down as you're loading. Makes life a little easier, and then when you're done, just close it up and it's ready to go. So it's kind of cool. Again, I guess if you're keeping rounds in here and you're out playing around in the mud and the dirt and stuff, you're going to keep debris out here when that is enclosed like so. So mags are not very expensive. I think I saw them for around 20-25 bucks if I remember correctly. So I don't remember them being particularly expensive, but these are obviously proprietary to Tippmann. So Tippmann mags. So anyway, all right. So yeah, upper and lower receiver, all aluminum. Where do we get to? Trigger. Okay, comes with a kind of just a standard kind of mil-spec trigger. It's got some serrations in the trigger right here, which is kind of nice. You got so it's a single stage. Let's take that safety off. Single stage trigger, a little bit of take up, decent brake, and then the reset. Pretty tactile and audible. The reset is not bad. This is just kind of a standard kind of mil-spec trigger as such. It's nothing fancy or anything like that. The nice thing is you can put whatever trigger you want in here. If it fits an AR-15, it should fit in here just fine. You can see here where the pins go. Again, standard where an AR-15 pin would be. So that's very nice. It does come with a safety. It's not ambidextrous, but again, you can switch this out to an ambidextrous safety using AR-15 parts, which is one of the really good things I like about this this setup. So very cool. Moving down, you've got a nice little grip here. It's got some texture on the sides, and it's got some ridges on the front and back. I'm not sure who makes it. It says Tippmann, but I've got a feeling maybe it's maybe a rebranded B5, I'm not sure. And then there's no storage compartment on there, but again, you can switch this out if you would like by using standard AR-15 parts. You guys see where the trend is going with this. Okay, moving to the trigger guard. It has a straight trigger guard. I do not like straight trigger guards, but it's okay, it is what it is. It's actually one piece, so I can't change that out, or I would. Personal preference, again, nothing wrong with it, but it does come with a straight trigger guard. All right, now the magwell is slightly flared, not too flared, I mean just a tiny little bit. Let's see if there's any play between the upper and lower receiver. Doesn't affect the function of the gun in any kind of way, I just like to see, so let's check that out. Yeah, there's no play, it's solid. The rattling you can hear is actually this stock, and hence it's one of the things that I personally like to get rid of because it drives me crazy. All right, so yeah, no play in there, full dust cover. Okay, moving up to the handguard. This again is an aluminum handguard, and it does have anti-rotation tabs on either side. So once this handguard goes on and those anti-rotation tabs, it's designed so if anything loosens up, it won't rotate. So if you're using your irons, if you have something else up here, it won't throw the point of impact off because it's designed not to rotate. So it's a really nice handguard, tons of M-lock slots all the way around there, plenty of space to put whatever you need on there, so very cool. And then you have a full length Picatinny rail all the way along the top there. So yeah, tons of room for pretty much anything you would like. A 16-inch barrel under here, and then you do have a 1/2 x 28 thread pitch. Now there's no muzzle device on here because I did have the A2. It comes with a standard bird cage, which I did have on here, but I've been running this suppressed and unsuppressed and switching things around, so I don't have it on here currently, but it does come with a standard bird cage. And again, with the 1/2 x 28 thread pitch, you can put whatever muzzle device on there with that thread pitch. So overall, the outside of this gun is very, very nice. You know, the fit and finish is really nice, especially for the price point, which we'll touch on that at the end. But overall, very decent job on the outside. Now to take it down, again, you still have the 2 pivot pins here in the front and back. The pivot pins are extremely tight on this, so I'm gonna do it off camera and I'll be right back. All right, so I actually got that out. I actually had to use one of my punches and my little hammer, boop, and pop it through it. It was extremely, extremely tight. So let's pull this apart. We have our kind of our bolt carrier grip here. Your firing pin is on the end, and then you have this little dinky charging handle, like so. It's not ambidextrous, just one side. Kind of a funky looking thing. One of the things I forgot to mention is it actually does have a buffer system in here, which I think is really interesting. So there's a buffer spring in here, and then as I say, fires, comes back, it'll push on that buffer and spring and to reset. So really interesting. And as I say, this is your trigger pack, which you can switch out with a standard AR-15. And that's pretty much all I got to show you on the inside. All right, we are back together. Kind of my final thoughts on this. Again, I think that I already kind of covered the outside. I think the fit and finish is excellent. I'm through, I don't know how many hundreds of rounds through this now. I've had no real problems. You know, rimfire is notorious, just kind of being kind of a pain in the butt sometimes with 22 for firing. But I've had no real issues, nothing to complain about, certainly, on this. Very happy with it indeed. Now, do I prefer this over the Smith & Wesson 1522? Well, you're gonna have to watch the other video to find out. But overall, I do recommend it. You can pick these up for a round. The base model is going to cost you around $500. This one is the Elite version. It cost me about $530. And they have a couple of other models out there for you also, different furniture and things like that. But overall, very happy. Great suggestion in the comments, so thank you for that. And yeah, all right, folks, that is it for me. If you have any questions, any comments, please ask them below. Happy to answer any questions I can. And that's it. Until next time, folks, I'll catch you later.